Hello and welcome back to Woodhill Park again. I've finally got around to doing my update of the station, the stage 2 part that I want to do, and that's the entrance and car park area. I'm going to get rid of my Art Deco station building. I've already removed that. Apologies for any of you of a nervous disposition that see me using a ruler to lift stuff, but I find them quite handy for lifting stuff, scraping stuff. I know you shouldn't do, but I'm a modeller. I'm not a draftsman, like the comment I had from a guy who said he was a draftsman and said it was painful to watch, so my apologies. But, in my case, a ruler does a multitude of tasks. I also do use scrapers as well. This is a putty knife actually, which is good in some cases, but when you can't get it in like that, then a ruler is quite handy as well. And I've now put together sort of the bare bones of the building that's going to go there. And in tradition with a lot of things I do, the little guys are working away on the building site, starting to put this station together. I've got one or two photos that I've taken myself of the front of the building, but they are of the modern day, and the 1980s ones I've found are pretty much copyrighted, so rather than upset anybody I won't be showing those. But the building has changed, but not to that degree, so my photos will give you an idea of what it used to be like to a certain degree and what it's like today. I will be keeping my Royal Mail entrance or depot entrance, even though this isn't authentic, as there's not this sort of thing down the side of the station, even though there is a walkway I think, and possibly might have been some sort of entrance years ago. So it's not going to be entirely accurate. I can't make it accurate anyway unless I lessen the amount of track I've got, which we all know we like the max amount of track you can get on a layout. So instead of one line, there's a station and one line, I've got two lines, and or platform should I say. I've got a platform here which isn't there in reality. This platform is really a road that runs underneath to a car park at the back. So really one sort of road of rail is not there, and nor is this platform. So that's the fence probably is somewhere in the middle between the two tracks in reality. So I've got that bit of space that's taken up by something what's not realistic. And as I said, what is there is a road that goes beyond the building underneath the walkway into a car park at the back, which nowadays is a multi-storey car park. But I won't be able to do all that. It will just have to finish and be access to the platform from the main station building. So it'll be slightly different, a compromise, and the building will be slightly shorter because of that. But hopefully when I've finished it will start to look somewhat like the building at Broxbourne. The building's well underway, even though it doesn't look much at the moment. I've got most of the things in place that will sort of allow me to continue building upwards now. I've got to incorporate another lift that goes down about this point, so the building's going to come out with a lift, and there's a tall part of the building here with windows which allows a stairwell to come up, and that goes up to meet the walkway at the top. I must admit I did have a bit of a lump in my throat when I pulled the old station apart. It was quite nice, but it wasn't sort of in keeping with the rest of the building. So I've been wanting to do this update for a long time, and hopefully it will improve the look of the station and make it look quite realistic in some respects. I don't know if you can see, it's a bit hard to hold the camera over here, but where the building meets the platform, which it doesn't in reality, I'm going to have to make an entrance there, an exit onto the platform, and maybe come up with some sort of entrance that looks like another station or something, just to give me some sort of realistic look. But yeah, at the moment it's just a brick wall without any brick on it, but there will be sort of plastic card covered brickwork, and all the rest of it will be covered in plastic card brickwork. And hopefully it will look very similar to the building what's already on the layout. The construction what I've done so far is made with Fomex board, and it's a very useful thing or material to work with, very easy, cut with a knife, and glues with super glue really well. In fact, you don't get that long to work with it, that's the trouble, but it glues really well, and you can get your fingers stuck to it, so you have to be careful. And this is 3mm square plastic bar that you can buy online, and I use that for woodwork. And the basic shape is there really. I've had to cut away this area to accommodate the Royal Mail entrance still, but as it goes up I may sort of overhang a bit, I'm not sure, and because it's going to go up to probably about that sort of level, the same height as the walkway, with windows here. Yeah, it should be interesting constructing this. I've been scratching my head a bit how to do it, as it's not completely realistic as I've said. So I wanted to incorporate as much as I could, as many features, even though it will look shorter, and the stuff around it is not the same. Probably one of the hardest things will be trying to match the colour of the brickwork, so I might take a while trying to mix up that colour and do my best to match. It's some sort of very sort of sandy coloured brick I used, and then concrete construction, as it's probably a modern day eyesore really, but I've grown to quite like it, studying it. And I've said in the past it's called the brutalist style, and this station was built in 1960 and the old one was knocked down in 1959, which was, I think, mainly a wooden construction, an old-fashioned station. And this very new modern station was built, and for a time there were steam engines going through this, so it must have looked rather strange to the passengers, this modern day station suddenly springing up, almost space age in the era. And in a minute I'm going to pull all this apart and continue with it. It's another day and another task, and I've been trying to blend the colours together to get the right sort of colour brickwork again to match the footbridge, as it's a certain sort of, I suppose, sandy brick colour. And I seem to have achieved it in the past, but I was struggling to get the right colours. But I think I've come up with something what's close to what I'd done before. I've come up with sort of 3 sheets of what's very close to the original brickwork. Not quite sure what one I'm going to use. This one reasonably close, but it's a case of trying to match it, but yeah, not an easy job. I've done 3 sort of versions of it, and hopefully the colours will come close to this original brickwork. Yeah, it's quite an arty thing to do really, colour blending, but sort of enjoyable, yet a bit messy. So now I'll be able to add some plastic-card brickwork to the outside of this building and get it looking more like a station. Well, it's now a few days on. I've been doing a bit after work and gradually building it up, adding plastic-card to the outside of the building and whatever, and I built it in 2 stages, so I'll get the first stage and put it in. So this is the ground floor, the main station entrance. So this slips in here like that. I've still got the windows to do down here. I just got a frame in, and I've also got windows elsewhere. I got to paint the roof and all sorts. There's detailing to go inside. There's a hell of a lot to do. And this is the end of the footbridge, which connects to a stairwell, which I haven't got in place yet. I'm going to put a stairwell in there. I'll show you. I've come up with a system to sort of hold it straight and in place with the existing footbridge. I've got to sort of detail the inside, but a lot of this won't be seen as there's a corridor, and I'll be behind the corridor. I'll just slide that into place. That holds it all together. Then that goes on top like that. And I've been just playing about with the final sort of location of it, trying to get it to fit reasonably well. But yeah, I do want it so it disassembles like that. So if I need to do anything, change lighting in it, doing it, I can take it apart. But that's where I'm at the moment. So the next stage is to paint the roofs and get the window frames in, and then I'll start looking at what I can do inside. But it will be down to detailing then. I've got a lift shaft to put in. This is too high at the moment, so I'll be cutting it down and probably using some of it to go inside to represent the lift inside as well, as it's a brick lift shaft that goes right through the roof. So I'll probably be cutting that down by probably about 2/3 of it I'll keep, and 1/3 will go inside. I don't know if it'll be high enough to go between here and the floor, or the roof and the floor inside, but it won't be seen that much anyway, so it might be just a representation of it being inside. But yeah, it's going to be located something like that. I'm going to have to look at pictures of the station and judge where to put it, really, even though I have put the bottom part already in place, but I can change that if necessary. If you was to look under that gap here, you would see the lift shaft there. Right, I think it's time to take it apart and paint the roof actually. So I'll be painting it in a grey and then stippling it just to give it sort of a bitumen finish like you see on the top of the footbridge really. I've got to paint these sort of, well, they're concrete slabs actually, but a matching grey to blend in with the rest of the footbridge. I think I know what grey it is, but I'm going to have to search for that. Anyway, before this aeroplane drowns me out, I shall now get on and do a bit of painting, and I'll be back hopefully with a painted section or two. It's another day, and the guys have got the build a bit further onto another stage, or I have. And I'm starting to put the windows in now. I've added brickwork and sort of concrete lintels top and bottom, which is just a painted cardboard really, just to give it a sort of a concrete sort of effect. And I'm starting to put stuff inside as well. I don't know if you can see, I've got, if I come down a bit, you might just about see there's an advert on the back wall and the beginnings of a stairwell. I'm not going to have too much detail in there, but it's a start. I've also got some sort of food vending machines in there, just for perspective really, and there's a counter coming along which I'm going to have glass where people pick up their tickets. But I'm getting the window frames in to start with. I haven't actually got the plastic in place, so there's no windows in them yet, but it's coming on. I've still got this hole here which was a cutout to actually join on to the old station, the Art Deco station, because the roof used to cut into it here. So there's one here and one on the other side. I could have stripped off the brickwork, but I thought it's a lot of work, and sometimes it's quite hard to get this off of the Foamex board. So I'm thinking of what I can do with this. In reality there's nothing there, but I might just try and make a little vent so it looks like there's a vent to the outside world, a grill or something. but I've already said this is a join, so I can break it down into 3 pieces to take it apart should I need to remove it, put it backwards and forwards on the layout. Right, I'm gonna end the video at this point and just leave you with a few photos from the early part of the build, and I'll go back up in the loft and carry on completing this, and I'll be back very soon with the final update of my finished station, hopefully. So bye for now, see you very soon, cheers.